Okay. Okay, we're back. Oh my gosh, what I can just laugh about this. Please, please, please forgive me. All right, here we go. I think we're live. All right, show me some love, everyone. Okay, thank you so much for your patience. Oh my word, what a day. It's been crazy. So welcome to the Come Cook With Me show. If you started watching me, I hope you catch back on and we're live again. Hopefully we won't have a snafu. I turned off everything that was grabbing internet space, so we should be good. Thanks for your patience. I so appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so today's meal is Italian wedding soup. And so many of you are going to love this meal because I think well, I love soup anytime, but especially cold weather. I love it as a post-cleanse meal, and we just got off of a 2-day deep cleanse. The entire world that is in my company was on the 2-day deep cleanse, so we were doing a cellular nutritional cleanse. And I mean, I don't know if you felt the energy vibrating. January, the energy just vibrates anyway, but it just was like, woo! So at any rate, we're starting off. If you're new to the show, let's go ahead and cover the things that we have to do. If you're new to the show, everyone who joins us as part of the community, we always love to see who you are and where you're from. And if you're from up north and you're having this blast cold and incredible weather, stay warm, stay snugly. Hopefully you can have some of these ingredients. And it freezes really well. So when you make it, make a lot, and it's just one of those wonderful meals to pull out on a cold day. So we always do, hello, who you are, where you're from, and when you do that, you get a chance to win the spices that we're gonna talk about. There's a guy on our team, his name is Dan Oliver. He makes these incredible spices. So when you say hello, who you are, where you're from, you get a chance to win the next week. That's kind of how we do it on the show. We also love to do the Instant Pot, and we love to do the slow cooker crock pot. You know, we called them crock pots when I was younger. But I will tell you, since we've started the show, it's really been, it's just been incredible. And Instant Pot is just the rave. It's just a huge rave, and I can tell you, it's the newest device in my kitchen. I love it so much that I thought when I was learning how to cook and I got my first crock pot, I thought, oh my goodness, so great. And then I started having, we had started having kids, and I got the bigger crock pot, and I just thought this was the best thing because we were all so busy in life and running around, and I was a teacher, and I mean, it just made life so easy, right? Well, the Instant Pot just took it up like a big notch. And so what I've loved doing, and if you're new to the show, you'll know that we have most always used the Instant Pot and compared it against a traditional cooking method. And most of the time it's a slow cooker, especially with my recipes. So, so that's kind of how this all started. And I guess I should give a little bit more history. Years and years ago, and for many years, people had said, Laura, you need to open up a restaurant. Well, I was always so busy raising the kids, teaching. There's no way that was going to happen. And then when I retired from that, it was just like, I just wanted to spend the time with the kids. I didn't want to have another responsibility. So my kids now, they live still in Kentucky, and they're always calling me, Mom, how do I make this? How do I make this? So, I was telling a girlfriend of mine, and she said, well, Laura, why don't you just do a cooking show? You're on live all the time anyway, helping people with their nutrition. Why don't you just do a cooking show? So that's how it started. I mean, it was just really that simple. So I'm humbled by all the people who send me so many wonderful messages, so many people who have helped me get started and give me great tips. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of those tips that they've given me. You're going to put your Instant Pot on saute. You would have done the same thing with the slow cooker, but this has been cooking now for almost completely 4 hours. So I've got it on saute, and today, instead of using a robust olive oil, you can use that or butter. Today, I decided, because I wanted to use the wonderful, in the recipe you'll see roasted garlic. And so the roasted garlic I sliced up already. So I have all this beautiful extra virgin olive oil juice. So I'm just gonna put it right in. That's what we're gonna start off with. We're just gonna coat the pan, the bottom of it. Sorry, when I adjusted the camera, it kind of went down, so I'll try to stay within the frame. Crazy day. But, so we're gonna get that sauteing and get that garlic in there. Oh gosh, there is nothing better than the smell of roasted garlic. And I swear, someday someone smart, like my daughter, but she's not gonna do this because she's in computer science information for protecting all of us against crazy people. But someone's gonna invent smell-o-vision. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be amazing when they do. All right, so you're gonna put that in, and you're gonna grab your onion and your garlic. Your garlic, you're not gonna grab the garlic, excuse me, you're gonna grab your onion. So I've got a diced onion, a whole diced onion. Just throw that in. And you're gonna throw in your carrots. I just like to have the carrots and onions do it together. You really don't have to throw them in, the carrots in. But it's kind of nice to have them get that saute together. And I'm just gonna do this for a little bit while it's cooking up. You know, just gonna saute it up. Oh, gosh, I just love garlic so much. Raise your hand if if you love garlic. Yeah, give me some love. Love it, love garlic. Yeah, so we're gonna let that saute a little bit. So now you know the history of the show. I just absolutely love it. I always forget to mention this, and people say, why didn't you tell me this in the beginning? So if you've missed shows before, and you don't want to scroll through the history of all the posts that I have, because I wouldn't want to do that, I actually put all of the, a friend of mine does it for me because I'm not really YouTube literate yet, she's helping me. But we put all of the recipes on my YouTube channel, and it's Lifestyle by Laura J. So you'll see in the header of my Facebook page, it says Lifestyle by Laura J, and it says come cook with me, so that's always a clue where you can find it on YouTube, although I probably should put the YouTube symbol there. But this is coming up nicely. So you just want to have that saute, and now I will say my husband, he was like, I didn't want it, when I told him what we were having on Friday, or I told him on Wednesday, because we always do come shop with me at the grocery store, so if you've not followed me before, you know on Wednesday afternoon, I'll go to the grocery store and I'll pick all of the ingredients that you need to have for this meal so that if you're deciding to cook with me, you'll be able to do that. So when I was telling my husband what we were having on Friday, he said, Italian wedding soup, I don't think so. But he walked in tonight and he could smell what was going on and he said, I think I changed my mind. So we're having Italian wedding soup tonight. The only thing I didn't pick up was a crusty baguette to serve, but that's okay. We don't really need to have that. That is looking perfect. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the saute. All right, so this is really super simple. All right, now it's turned off. And I like to get those onions a little translucent. It's not too hot to pick up. I've got my mitts here. I can show you. They're just at that point of being translucent. See that? Okay, perfect. All right. And I'm not lifting this up because we'll fog up everything. All right, so let's go ahead and go with what's going to go in here. And I want to get some broth in here. So I'm using 2 different types of bone broth. And I love bone broth for soup. It's one of the best things that you can put in your body. And I have got to tell you, I have found the best snack. One of the best snacks ever. And it's so savory and so wonderful in the warm weather. I mean, to warm you up during the cold weather. But I use one of these small bone broths. And I prefer the chicken. I've done it both ways because I'm just like almost addicted to this now. But I use 1/8 ounce of bone broth. And I put it on the stove just to warm up, and then I put spinach in it and some red pepper, and it is to die for. It is one of the best snacks, and believe it or not, you got to have something else with it because it's only 50 calories. You got to in our system we always coach our people to have 100 calorie snacks. If you're a guy, you have a little bit more, but. So you actually have to eat more, but it is so darn delicious. I love it. And so savory. And I put a little red hot pepper in it because we like pepper. And so that was a beef bone broth that I added. It was an 8 ounce. And it's all this recipe, just so you know, as you're watching, a lot of people ask me where is the recipe. So one of the things that I started to do is in the post, in the original post, you'll see the whole recipe really spelled out. So you don't have to say, when are you going to post the recipe anymore? I learned from some wonderful person gave me a great tip and said, hey, can you post the recipes before you get started? So we do that now. So you're going to use the 32 ounces. I use Imagine, by the way, because it's more of an organic. This one is chicken, beef, and turkey. Love it, love it, love it. Each serving has 10 grams of protein. So when you have that as a snack, you know, you want to have a snack during in my nutrition plan that has protein in it. So I'm just saying, all you people who are up in the cold, we are freezing here as well, but it started to warm up finally. We actually got so cold, so many things got canceled this week, unheard of. I mean, you think Floridians, we can be a lion when a hurricane hits us, right? We've been through in 11 months back to back. We had 2 hurricanes, and we're all like, we're strong. But we get this cold and we don't know what to do with it. So it's pretty hilarious. So, all right, so I've got the bone broth going. There's no heat. I turned it completely off. But let me go ahead and show you what we have, because the recipe is so darn simple. This is the simplest recipe. The hardest part was getting the meatballs done. They're Italian meatballs, and you can do them a wide variety of ways. So I'm just going to share with you how I did them. And they are so incredible. It was by an accident that I ended up not having a lot of Italian sausage, because when I went shopping, they just didn't have what I wanted. But they had enough of quite a few things. And I think these meatballs are going to be like incredible, really awesome. So let me show you what I started with. I did a mild organic Italian sausage. And then I did a ground turkey breast, and it's all organic. I tried to save the labels, but you really can't read them. And besides, they would be backwards, so I won't show them to you. But then I did a organic ground USDA lean ground beef, grass-fed. So everything's been organic and grass-fed. So that's really an important thing. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. Let me scoot that by. So I'm going to show you these meatballs. So what I did is I put them in a big container. This is my container, and I just put the meat in here, and I have the recipe up above, but I put the meat in there, and I put 2 eggs, started squishing it together, and then I put in some of the shaved roasted garlic. So this is the remainder of the shaved roasted garlic. I think there were about 6 cloves that I put in, and I just really super shaved it. And again, it's roasted garlic. When that started to come together and I was mixing it in, oh my God, let me tell you, unbelievable. So I'm going to put the rest of that garlic in here. I just love how you can just blend it all. Okay, then I took flat leaf. It's the flat leaf parsley, and I'll show you the difference, because I served this when I plated. I'm going to plate it with the regular parsley. But this is an Italian parsley, so see the difference? This is just a regular parsley, and this is Italian. It's a flat leaf Italian. They're organic again, but what I did is I chopped them up, and I'm not going to use the rest of all the chop, but I want to show you how I chopped them up. And that went into the bowl, and I'll just put a little bit in there, okay? And I have some diced jalapeno, because you know we like a little spice. This is optional. In most Italian weddings, no one would say, well, a lot of Italians would say, you're not going to put any jalapeno in, but you know, we love spice in our family, so we'd like to kick it up a notch. So that's like a 1 chopped up jalapeno, and I put some of them in here, not a whole bunch, but I am going to put the rest of it in here. That is going to be delicious. Okay. And then the other thing that I put in, here we go. I put in 2 other ingredients I'm gonna probably, yeah, I'll do it right here. Okay, so I put a full cup, and actually because I did 2 servings, this particular one got 2 cups, but I did some fresh shaved Parmesan. And this one was a 20-month aged Parmesan. And I mixed them all together. And then this one, just a regular, I think it was 10, yeah, it's an aged 10 months. Just a regular Parmesan, really, really yummy. But the first one I showed you is so nutty. It's so nutty, it's really delicious. And then I did a, just a Italian Grana Padano. It's an 18-month. So I mixed the 3 of them together. And it just is gonna make your meatballs so yummy. And I love this grater because I grate it in this bowl and it has this great container and it's a measuring container. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. So just do that. And then I put that in the bowl. And the final ingredient, and I like to use gluten-free because a lot of people who watch me really are into gluten-free. I love the gluten-free. So I bought a gluten-free steel cut oat, but this is a granola more, it's a little bit, it'll be a little bit more binding. But again, it's non-GMO. Take a look. Everything I buy is non-GMO. You really want to buy non-GMO. That's a really important thing. You don't need to have more toxins invading your body. So that's one of the things. That's why when you look at the spices that I'm going to be putting in and you see DanO spices, you're going to say, oh, okay, that's why I want to get those spices for sure. So I mixed all of these ingredients together, right? And made the balls. And then, so for the slow cooker, for those of you who are slow cookers and you're watching the recipe, a lot of you ask this question, can you just dump the meatballs in and not cook them in the oven? Yes, you can do that, and they come out perfectly. You just have to watch in the slow cooker. If you do that, you just want to make sure that you cook them thoroughly. The Instant Pot, they're going to cook all the way through, and they're not going to lose their tightness because, again, I use 2 eggs. I use 2 full eggs to get them to bind together, and they're just going to come out the fluffiest meatballs ever. Just so yummy. But for the Italian ones in here, I did half and half. So I wanted to show you what the one that's in here is already, I can't even find it. But what happens if you pre-cook them, they're nice, they're perfect. But one of the problems is that I think, personally, they get too rough, like tough. You don't want to have tough meat. So I don't like to cook them. I did half that way and half just to show, and I'll be able to pull some out that will show exactly what I'm talking about. But in the Instant Pot, we're not going to do any of that because I want the emulsification from what I put in the spices in here. And so I actually added some spices, and I'm going to show you the spices that I added because I'm going to add them to the pot as well. So I'm going to go ahead and dump these in, and then I'm going to top it off with this. Oh, no, I'm not going to dump them in yet. I forgot. We have some curly endive. So the curly endive, I went ahead and chopped it. It's washed. And I tried to find the cleanest endive that had the whitest on the back end. And I guess I should have saved a leaf, but I didn't, so that's okay. So we're gonna just dump that in. And I love endive, and it just brings out a really wonderful flavor. But when I get to the end, I'll tell you what I do at the end because we also use spinach. So I'm just gonna pop these in, and I think I need to add for sure one more of the bone broth. It's totally not up to where I want it at, especially since I just put the endive in. So let me just add one more of these. It just smells heavenly in here. It's gonna be a great dinner. So what's really great about this particular recipe, it doesn't really take long in the Instant Pot to cook at all. And I think my daughter, she's so upset. She's like, oh, I wish I was there and I could have it with you. But my kids, of course, now I can talk about it. They all got Instant Pots. It was the gift of the year, I'm telling you. So you just pop them in. I'm going to have to probably stir this around so that they sink down to the bottom. Give it a little bit more space. Perfect. Okay. That's going to be probably all I'm... Oh, what the heck. I can always put a little bit more liquid in. Might as well, right? We're here. We have them. No wasting them. I'll probably end up right before I really hit go on that. Let me get my hands washed. Thank you. Okay, so spice time. It's so awesome. All right, so for the spices, this is the magic. This is where the magic happens. Now, you're gonna see I put in how to put the spices in, but I don't measure. I don't measure spices. I just look at what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna put my glasses on, take it, look at, and see how it all melds together. But I gave you a really good estimate of what I typically do. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and show you what I do. I do the black pepper. I did the cracked black pepper. I had purchased the refined black pepper, but then I changed my mind to use the coarse since I still had the coarse remaining. And I just thought when I put these in the meatballs as well. When I put it in the meatball, I said, oh my gosh, that looks really good. And then we use hot Hungarian paprika. Again, non-GMO. We don't need to have, we have organic, we want to do organic, and we want to do non-GMO. No need to put, when we're cleansing and we're doing a nutritional cleanse and we're taking toxins out of our body, we don't need to put any more toxins in. And if you aren't nutritionally cleansing with us, you need to. It's time to make some health goal and health changes. So we've got some ground cumin. Yeah, thanks for the love, whoever did that. I'm looking forward to see. All right. There's nothing better than getting your body cleansed of toxins. And so I know some of you are saying, who's talking about cleansing on a cooking show, right? It's not that kind of a cleanse. It's a cellular cleanse. We're washing the cells. We're washing the toxins right from our cells. And, well, I'll just call it, it's a pee-pee cleanse, not a poopy cleanse. It's just a pee-pee. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say what it was. Japanese 7 spice. Love it. One of my favorite spices to use. We're gonna use a couple bay leaves. Hey Daryl, nice to see you. Oh, how are you doing? I meant to send you a message earlier to see how you were doing. And then when B&I got canceled, I thought, oh, you know, I was gonna just see how you're doing. I need to bring some of this soup over to you. Okay, and then we have the herbs of the Providence. I love the herbs of the Providence. Yum, 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 yum. Ah, it looks so good. And then my favorite, coming up. These are, if you haven't heard about them and this is your first time watching, you're gonna see. These are Kentucky Proud spices from a guy, his name is Dan Oliver. He is on our team, on our nutrition team. That's how I met him. But I will tell you, these spices are phenomenal. What he has done, he has created some magic. And the magic is that he has low sodium, no sugar, gluten-free, no MSG, no GMO. And he's got it in kind of like a spicy and then more of a savory kind of a flavor. But they're both phenomenal. I use them in everything. Everything. Especially I put them on, I think I share this with you every time we have the cooking show. I put them on my vegetables on the grill. And oh my gosh, just so amazing. They're just amazing. Okay, and that's it. And all of those spices, those all went into the meatballs because I love to build. I love the complexity of building the flavors together. I just think it's just magical when you can do something like that when you're making a meatball. Okay, this is ready to go. It's ready. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the lid on and, oh, look, I found my knob. Last week we had a little bit of a snafu. My knob had come off and we couldn't find it, and then it wouldn't, when we actually, I couldn't get it to build up pressure, so you really have to pay attention to where those knobs are on these guys. So keep it where the vent is closed and lock it in place. It's just that easy. It's really that simple. And I'm going to use the manual setting, and I'm going to put the setting on 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. I don't think it's going to be much more than that, but I'm going to check once it unpressurizes, and if it needs to be a little bit more just to make sure that the meatballs are fully cooked, I'll go ahead and do that. But that really, by the time it builds up the steam and the pressure, 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, I don't think it's going to need more than that at all. Especially, I made these a little bit bigger. If you like to make your meatballs smaller, I would definitely go with less time, okay? And so that's the entire recipe. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it on manual. Gotta get it down. Last time we cooked for a long time, so hang on one second. Okay, so I'm gonna just hit 9 and with space in between. So it'll ding in just a minute, and let's go ahead and talk about the, there we go, how I'm gonna serve it. I'm gonna serve this, how I would serve it is if you had Meyer lemons, they're my favorite lemons, and I still have a few left. They're pretty seasonal, so if you just have a regular lemon, it works too. But just cut it fine, save half of it on the outside, grate it, use a little grater, and shave a little bit on the top when you're serving the Italian wedding soup, and then just have a little squish of it as a finish off, and then use your Parmesan, grate a little Parmesan on top. That will make this meal so incredible. And if you have a crusty little bread, it's great, because the soup is like about 340 calories. If you have 1 to 2 meatballs, it's really not that much. So if you're doing and sticking to under 600 calories or less, which is what we try to do, it's just gonna be a perfect meal for you. So really awesome, really awesome. So that's really an easy way to serve it up. So we're gonna let that build up pressure. This has got just a little bit more time to cook, and then I'll plate them all. I'll post the pictures so you can always see what it looks like, the Instant Pot pictures and the slow cooker crock pot. So one of the things we always do is we always say in the test kitchen, which one won out. So look for that in the comments as well. So if you share this video, this live video, if you share this on the wall, on your Facebook wall, you get a chance to win some of our nutrition. So this week we still have some of the amazing seasonal bars that are the s'mores bars, and we have 2 seasonal shakes still. I still have the cookies and cream, and I still have the pumpkin spice. So if you share this on your wall, you get a chance to win that as well. So I have this week's winners from last week's show. Let's go ahead and share that with you. Some of you people are going to be very excited because you've shared this many times, and some of you, this is your first time winning. So the spices, we'll start off with the spices. Who won the spices? So drum roll. Mandy Morris Weisenbach, you won the spices. So I don't have your address, Mandy. I'm so excited for you. I knew when, oh, and I should tell everyone, what we do is when you say hello, who you are and where you're from for the spices, and every one of these, we put you in a random generator. I just put all the names in, who shared the video, because those are the people who win either the bars or the shakes. But for the spices, it's just making a comment of who you are, where you're from, or making a great comment. And that's how you get the spices. So we just put you in like a spinner. I do it right before the show. And Mandy, you won the spices. So I'm gonna put that over here. Now for the bars, oh gosh, okay. So Sean Geoffron, I don't know if I said that correctly, so you're gonna have to give me the right pronunciation. So Sean, I know you're finally gonna be excited that you finally won. I'm so excited for you. I'll send you a message as well, and you won the seasonal bars, so you get the s'mores bars. That's fabulous. And then, okay, for the shake, now I think you've won before, Kadra. It's Kadra Watts, you won the shake, so you're gonna have to send me a message and tell me if you want the pumpkin spice or you want the cookies and cream. And let me just tell you, if you have some kids, you want the cookies and cream. Let me just say that. Now, I have to admit, last week it was really crazy. We had the bowl game, it was New Year's, and I never got the messages out. So if you're watching this week, and I never sent the messages out, and the people who were watching, actually, one of you were watching, Sandra, you were watching, and you even said, hey, I'm live, I'm waiting for my daughter. You won the spices last week, so I'll make sure that I send a message and get that out. We have a lot of mailing out to do. And then Melinda Carpenter, if you were watching, you won the shake last week, and Diane Erickson, you had won the bar. So I'll send those messages out as soon as this video is over. Look for the pictures, look for how everything turned out. And again, I thank you all. Oh my gosh, I thank you so much, because the video went kaputs on me when we first got started. So if you missed or saw that first one, so I so apologize. I apologize for being late, and But you know what? It's the busiest time of my career right now. My season is now, because most people want to create a new healthy journey, and they're on a new healthy path. And so today, yesterday, I mean, we've been signing. My team has been signing people up. It's just been crazy. I had a tasting. I never got a chance to put all that stuff away. I had a tasting. I had 2 tastings actually today, and then I had somebody who signed up. So it's been crazy in my life, crazy in the kitchen. So thank you so much, everybody. All I can say is I'm humbled by how many people have enjoyed the show. Again, if you're new to ever watching these shows, you love the recipe, you can find all my recipes on my YouTube channel. It's Lifestyle by Laura J. We'll see you, well, I'm not positive how we're gonna do next week. We have NYKO, so I'm gonna see, maybe Terry and I can do something together. That could be fun, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Either that or I'm gonna do something ahead of time and have it taped and ready to go. So thanks everybody for joining. I so appreciate you. I'm hoping that your new year and you're folding out into a great experience into January. And thanks for joining the show. Have a great weekend and be safe, everybody, especially if you're in the cold area. Okay, see you all later.